Hey guys, I am just hopping on here. I'm sorry for being out yesterday or Monday if you're watching this on a different day. I wasn't feeling super well. I think we're good now, but I wanted to show you what we should have done, hopefully, if you were able to. If you go to, I'm going into block 1 to share kind of what I'm working on right now. My hope was that you guys took a minute and did some salmon observations. Hopefully you noticed some of those salmon are hatching out of their eggs already, which is super exciting. There should be a few of those, and hopefully you guys got to make some of those observations. If not, that's all right. Then I also shared with you the activity called Smell Your Way Home. I hope I'm sharing the right screen. I don't know why it's not coming up on my other ones. So if you go Smell Your Way Home, if you actually look at the assignment, I believe Mr. Vincent and Mr. Scoper, I know both of them kind of subbed for me yesterday, which I so appreciate. My hope was that you guys at least read through these first 2 slides. So in just a moment, I'm going to read those to you so you have an idea. And then there was this link that I was hoping you guys would get to do, which is a memory match game. And with that, my hope was to show you that salmon have to make that connection the entire way home as they smell their way home. They have these memories in their smell. And if you were able to make 3 of the 6 matches, and 3 of them were either the 3 flowers or the 3 apples, and not any of the other ones, that means that your salmon made it successfully home. Successfully made it all the way home. Hopefully I did that right. So what I was trying to show you guys is if you correctly matched one one either apple or flower, whichever was your first one, that means that your salmon spawned in their home stream and they were able to make it to the ocean. If you correctly matched 2 without matching another, it means that you smelt your way from the natal stream all the way to the ocean and survived. But if you were able to match all 3, then you were able to return back from the ocean as well to your same natal stream and continue your salmon life cycle. But again, if you only made 1, you just made it that far, 2, that far. If you did all 3, you made the entire salmon life cycle process. That's what I was hoping you would get from that, but I know it was kind of wonky, I'm sure, especially without me there to explain it. So I'm going to go through and read those first couple slides for you. So this is slide 2 out of 12 on smell your way home. Smell, or olfaction, is an important sense for salmon and many other fish. The little holes above a fish's mouth that look like nostrils are called nares that do not lead to the throat the way the nostrils do in mammals. So they have the little holes there, and it's not working its way to the throat. It's a special body part called a nare, and it's just for smelling. So instead, they open up a chamber to where the smell receptors are located. So they have a special chamber, and these smell receptors are so sensitive that they make the same sense of smell 1 million times more sensitive than that of humans. And I'm realizing there are all kinds of typos in here. I read through it once, but I must have been sleepy. So what we would smell, let's say good, bad, whatever the smell was, they can smell 1 million times stronger that smell than we can. So when they enter the smolt stage, or when they begin migrating toward the ocean, salmon are particularly sensitive to the odors or smells of their local waterways. Each waterway has a unique scent from a combination of rotting vegetation, so plants that are breaking down, insects, so different smells of the insects they eat, other fish, and dust or dirt that are released from the rocks and soils kind of into the water. These odors are imprinted on the smolt's brain and help provide the salmon with direction finding cues years later. So as they stay there, remember our salmon from the tank, they stay an extra year because they have to get used to the smells, but they're spending that time as they're growing and getting bigger and stronger. They're starting to recognize, okay, these kinds of plants are breaking down, there's this kind of insect, these type of fish, the dust smells like this here, and they want to put that in their memory bank, basically, so that they can remember that years later when they're heading home, they start to smell those familiar smells. It is how they survive. Salmon spend a few years feeding in the ocean and then traveling hundreds or even thousands of kilometers or miles before returning to spawn in their natal or home stream. Some salmon even spawn in the same section of the stream in which they were born. So if they're very lucky and they get a good spot, they might even spawn or lay their eggs where they were laid as an egg. It is estimated that 90 to 99% of salmon return to their natal stream, while the remaining 1 to 10% stray into other streams. So I want to take that back for a second because it sounds like, oh man, thousands of salmon are returning. Remember, out of thousands, so in each red, there are thousands of eggs, and out of those thousands of eggs, only about 2 or 3 survive. And we know salmon can lay multiple reds. So let's say each salmon adult can have, on average, like 4 to 6 completely full-grown salmon to return the next year, which is good as long as the population keeps growing. Out of those, 90 to 99%, so most of the salmon that make it to adulthood to go spawn will find their home stream, which is fabulous. That means they found a safe place to return, and they're gonna lay their eggs there, which means it should be safe for their babies. While 1 to 10% stray into other streams. So it's not very many, but if they don't smell their way home accurately, they will lay their eggs in a different stream. Sometimes that's okay because maybe it's also a good stream to lay your eggs in. Sometimes it is not good because maybe there's not a way for the salmon to get back to the ocean, or lots of people play in that river, and so the salmon have a less likely chance to survive. So their goal is to get their babies safe to their natal stream. While we know how salmon navigate after they find the river mouth, it is not completely understood how salmon return to the current coastline. To find their way to the current coastline, it's believed that salmon use many different environmental cues, including the day, the length of day, sun's position, even our magnetic field, water salinity, so about how much salt is in the water, and temperature gradients. So they're trying to find the right temperature for finding the coastline, because they are out in the big ocean. They have to find that same coastline to work their way back. Once salmon reach freshwater, they're guided largely by their sense of smell and odors that were imprinted on their brains during the smolt stage. So while we know our salmon travel about 400-ish miles from Tannum Creek all the way to the ocean, that entire way, so they're not just going as fast as they can, they're getting used to all those smells so that in a few years when they return back, they can smell like, oh, I remember this smell, just like you do in the car. Oh, I remember that McDonald's, or oh, I've seen that tree before. They're doing the same thing, but only with their sense of smell, which is pretty incredible. So like I said before, this was the memory match game, and I was told that it didn't work. It was blocked. I even made you a special game and everything, and it was blocked by a lot of you guys who were trying to use it. So if you're here in person with me, I will. I have a hard copy, so you guys can try it. If you don't have that, you're welcome to. If brother or sister or somebody has a memory match game already for you, maybe pick out a few that would represent one path and a few that would represent another path, and try it that way. If not, don't feel like you had to. This was just something I thought would be great to find out how far you would make it as a salmon. Then this next one I'm going to do in a different video, but it's called Trees to Seas, The Journey of the Wild Salmon. It is a lot to read, as you can see. That was my goal for you guys to be doing today or Tuesday. So I'll make that second video so you don't have to watch so long. And any questions or comments, feel free to message me, and I'll see you soon. Bye.